afternoon and welcome to Cape Breton Realty's weekly update for Friday, December 13th. Hope you're having a lucky day. My name is Everett Vass and I'm a licensed realtor here at Cape Breton Realty in St. Peter's. And I'm joined with Sherry McLeod, who is our managing director broker at Cape Breton Realty. Today we thought we'd review the recent announcement that we're going to get that to right away. The recent announcement by the Bank of Canada to lower the policy interest rate by 50 basis points. And this marks the fifth consecutive rate cut since June. So the Bank of Canada has reduced the policy interest rate to 3.25 or 3.25%. And the decision comes as the bank believes its monetary policy has successfully helped bring inflation back to the 2% target that it set. So Sherry, the first question that I have for you is, what does this mean for the real estate market here in Cape Breton?
Well, it can only be positive. It can only be good, right? We do need a reduction in rates. I think it's important, and I expect it's going to happen again in another short time. It's going to keep coming down. Our buyers, a lot of our buyers are coming here from Ontario and other places. We do have some local market as well, don't get me wrong, but a lot of our buyers are coming from other provinces because we have the cheapest real estate basically in Canada. Right. In saying that, as we make it more affordable for young people to buy homes in Ontario, older people are selling their larger homes and retiring and coming here, right. or moving here, and with families, if they're younger people, they can afford to buy here where they can't afford to buy there, and they can qualify and work from home and things. So it's all good for our market. The fact that the rates were so low 5 years ago, right, and now they have been considerably higher. People were getting mortgages for 1% and 2%, and all of a sudden they were paying 6, 7, and 8, right? So that was quite a shock to their system. If they had to renew, it made them suddenly house poor, right? And so it'll mean a lot of people will not lose their homes and can qualify for new mortgages. And it's very important that the rates do come down because our economy is not in great shape, right? So we need that, and it's good. It's going to be good for our market. Like, thank goodness this is happening for our market, or we'd be complaining come spring.
Well, the Nova Scotia Association of Realtors and also the Canadian Real Estate Association are all predicting very favorable conditions, coming in the next few months, as we've kind of been hoping for and predicting as well. So, yeah. Where do you think that's going to lead, and what is the winter going to look like here?
The market now is not bad. The market is still very good, right? And I think a lot of it is people realize that the rates are coming down, and that we're going to have a busy spring. There's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, let's get our house on the market now. There'll be a little more competition for sellers, and the buyers will jump on the bandwagon, and off and racing we go. Now, will we get back into multiple offers and all of that we had during COVID? Maybe not. Depends on the market. Right. Sydney will. I'm confident Sydney will, because that market is pretty busy, but will the rural areas of Cape Breton experience that? I'm not so sure, right? But we will certainly have, an increase in buyers, and there'll be an increase in properties on the market, and prices won't go down. Right. That's for sure. Yeah. They'll either maintain or continue to climb a little bit, right? Yeah. So right now is still a very good time to get in, because as the rates are coming down and people are waiting for the rates to come down, you can save a lot of money by buying now, because as the rates are coming down, the prices are good, right? And as the rates do actually go way down, then all of a sudden the prices start to climb up. You're better off to get a better price, and your rate will change after a year or 2 or 5 anyway, right?
Sure.
So, but people have a tendency to go just the opposite to what we recommend. It's just what people do.
In fact, in my own experience, I've got a number of people that have already scheduled, to be out here in early, 2025 in January and in February. So we're hoping that will pick up that sort of trend as they see the opportunity. People will pick up on that. So, yeah.
One thing to note is people that come here early in the season or early in the year, January, they're really serious buyers, because they're not going to come in January to look at a home if they're not here to buy a home. In July, when they're here and they're at the beach in the afternoon, and maybe they can find time from their schedule to go look at a house, they're not the serious buyers. But if somebody's here over the Christmas holidays, or somebody's here in January and wants to look at a house, they're gonna buy a house. They're not here to play games, So it's serious. Not that summer people are not serious, but they're on a mission when they're here in January, February, March, even December.
Yeah, so our message is we're open for business, and we'll be here in the early season.
You're darn right.
Yeah. So getting back to our regularly scheduled program, because this was kind of like just the announcement that we wanted to take advantage of talking about.
That was some good news, right?
That was good news. We wanted to cover today how referrals work in real estate, because I think a lot of people are not familiar with how referral works sort of behind the scenes when it comes to real estate and real estate companies. So what I was hoping to, and I know that you're a firm believer in the power of referrals, and that Cape Breton Realty is involved in a number and very active in participating in at least 2 different referral networks that we're in. Leading real estate companies of the world is one of them, and the other one is Aventure, National Realty Network. So could you please give us your perspective on these networks, and what is important for people to know about them, and what are the advantages that they represent to our clients?
So the first one is Aventure, which is just Canadian, basically. So we have affiliates, which are independent companies such as ourselves. They're not franchise companies, they're independent companies that we work with, and we literally know the people in those companies because we go to conventions every year and we meet these people, and we know who we're working with and who they are. And then there's the leading RE, which is leading real estate companies of the world, and that's an international referral company. And we have thousands of offices that are independent around the world. They're in Europe, they're in the States, they're in Canada, Asia, Africa, United Arab, everywhere, basically. Sure. So the moral of the story is, I'm a firm believer in referrals. I love referrals because if you live in Ontario and you want to move to Cape Breton, your realtor in Ontario should be referring to a realtor in Cape Breton, so that the realtors are working together and helping your life become easier.
Just smooth out
like
the
let's make sure you have a house to
complications.
come to, and let's make damn sure that you have your house sold in time for this one.
Right.
And we're working together, and we put things together for you. We help you to get your move, make your move, and make it easy.
Yeah, so it represents a more complete team working for the client.
Exactly. And the people on the other end have access to the same marketing things that we have access to. So we're confident if we send you to somebody, you want to sell your house and move to Halifax, okay? I know the people in Halifax that I'm going to send you to, and I know what they're capable of doing. I've been working with them. I've, it's not year one, right? This has been going on a long time. We have a good relationship. They know that you as a buyer are sincere because you're a referral, and they know what's going on this end, that you're selling. They have dates, they have timelines. They're like, okay, we got to find you a house, and this is the money we have to deal with, and this is what we're doing, right? And off they go, and they do what they need to do and get you organized and help you to get your, everything in order, whether it's your inspection or your financing or everything. Lawyer, they'll help you. That's what we do. We're a full service operation, and we're from one end to the other. So if you're moving from here to Halifax or here to California, it doesn't matter. We're going to help you to do that, and we're working with the people on the other end. Now, and it doesn't necessarily go both ways all the time.
Right.
It could be that somebody wants to buy a summer place in PEI. I'm going to send them to a realtor I know personally in PEI, and they're going to look after those people, and they are going to look after them well because they know that I'm going to send them the next people. And if they don't look after them well, and we already have a relationship with them, so they know that these are serious people that I'm sending, right? If you want to buy a place in Florida because you want to be a snowbird, you're retiring, you want to do, I'm just going to buy a place in Miami, whatever, it doesn't matter. We have direct contacts there that we're used to dealing with. And even if you just want to rent something down there, we can send you to a realtor down there that we know personally that will help you and get you through all the hustle and bustle and fuss, right? And if you're just calling on your own, you don't have that leg up. You don't have the, okay, these are serious people.
Yes, they don't know you from Adam, basically. You're just coming in off the street.
They might get 12 inquiries, and they have one place to rent. And if they know that I'm going to send them 12 more, they're going to get you that place before they get somebody. It helps, right? To have a little plug in for you, right? So I'm a big fan of referrals. I love to receive them, and I love to give them out, right?
It also it makes sense also that when you're talking about a primary residence, there's usually a greater sense of urgency around there than a vacation property, because that's more of kind of an elective investment that people make. So when it's a primary residence, you do need to sell your house first and then buy the other one, and you need to time that all,
connect it all, and put it together. It's very important that you have a good couple of realtors to connect and coordinate all that together, and they have to be able to work together well, right? Not, oh well, I told them it. No, well, it's too bad. I thought it was going to be tomorrow. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm here today, and it's supposed to close. You need good relationships, and it helps to be able to refer with those kind of things. It really does make life a whole lot easier. So anyone that doesn't take advantage of the opportunity to do referrals through real estate is crazy, because they're going into a market often that they've never been, they don't know anyone, and they're going to a stranger. They have no recommendations, they don't have any past history, and who better to refer you than someone that does it all the time, right? So.
But it does kind of happen behind the scenes, so a lot of people just aren't aware of it, and unless you engage, or at least inquire about that, is what would be the opportunity for a referral. It may not come up, but it's something that you do promote quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I preach it to all my agents, and and if they have never gone to any of these conventions that we do go to, and they don't know these people, it's a little more difficult for them to jump on the bandwagon, and I get that. But, you know, that's why we now encourage all of our realtors to come to these conventions, get to meet these people, because it's not just broker to broker, it's agent to agent, and we need to, you know, be able to tell the clients that we're referring, oh, listen, I've met those people, they're really nice, you know. Last year, we went to Toronto to an adventure thing, and we all went to dinner from the hosting company, the company that was hosting us. They took us all to dinner, and there was like, you know, it was a small little broker convention. There was like 30 of us, I guess, at it, and we all went to dinner in one place in the evening. But the first night we arrived, but they had all of their agents at it. So I've met all the agents in Toronto at that particular company, and it's a, you know, it's a very well-known company. It's, you know, like I thought, this is awesome, right? So when I find out that, okay, I'm referring to Toronto, I have definitely met the agent that I'm going to be referring to, because they're the ones that do the referral work, right? And it just makes all the difference in the world, you know, to know who you're sending them. You feel a lot more confident when you know what they're up against. And
it's more personal and sort of personable and relationship based, which is always good.
And real estate is all about relationships, believe it or not. If we don't have a good relationship with the surveyor, then we're not going to get through subdivision and do all these things on time. If we don't have a good relationship with the lawyers that are on both sides of these transactions, then you know, there's a lot of stumbling blocks. We have to have good relations with, you know, the county, with the, you know, planning commission, with the, you know, all of those things, right? Even down to the courier that delivers things, you know. So it's all very important. The moving companies, you know, you want to know who to move with, you know, I guess we better talk to a realtor, because they deal with that all the time.
It's pretty much,
Do you want me to tell you how many times over COVID we dealt with referrals? It was constant. Everybody that came here from Ontario came from another realtor, you know, and we organized their power and their internet and their phones, and brought the groceries in because they had to be, you know, quarantined, and you know, made sure that their house was unlocked for them to arrive, and couldn't go see them, and couldn't, you know, but made sure there was food in the fridge because they're there for the next 2 weeks. I mean, it was so essential. That's really when we got to the point where we were, everyone across the country was like, we need referrals. This is so important, you know, because you can't possibly expect people to land here and not even know where a grocery store is, you know. And they were buying sight unseen, and they needed people on the other end they could trust, right? So that's when this referral business really exploded, right? And I can't say enough about it. It's just the only way to do it, right?
And certainly the reputation that Cape Breton has as a, you know, a welcoming and very friendly, you know, community is reinforced by that, because we have the opportunity to deal with people and show, you know, the caring that goes on.
But as you know, during COVID, going back to that, during COVID, anyone in Nova Scotia could sell you a property, right? And so there was lots of times people from the other end of the province, maybe 7 hours away, were selling something in Cape Breton they had never been to, right? So that only had to happen a couple of times before all the referrals were flowing in, because realtors on the other end were saying, oh, you got to look after my client. This is crazy, you know. And it went both ways. When they were coming here, we would call their realtor on the other end and say, listen, we can't do this without some help. We need help. We need to know what's going on your end. We need to know when things are closing and how things are going, and we're going to find them a home, but can you please work with us and let's get this referral on the go, you know. And the realtors on the other end were delighted to do it, right? So So they didn't mind, because we do pay for referrals, right?
Right, yeah.
So they didn't mind saying, you know, oh, okay, I'll help you. So it's not a bad thing, it's really a good thing for everyone involved.
Right. So if you have any further interest or questions about this, we'll gladly take any questions. Sherry at capebretonrealty.com and Everett at capebretonrealty.com. Those are ways that you can get in touch with us. Is there anything else that you, on the subject of referrals, that you'd like to, maybe wrap up with at this point? Or have you said it all?
Well, one of the things that we have a little bit of a promotion going with is if you're, I think it's right there actually, lean over and grab that.
Yeah.
If you are a medical doctor, nurse, employee, I guess, in the medical system of any sort, lab technician, janitor at the hospital, whatever.
Medical professional, reward program. Yeah.
Yes, that's basically the same idea, and it's like a referral program, but it's more of a rewards program for medical professionals. So if you're a nurse at the Villa and want to buy a house and you want to stay here, or you're a nurse at the Straight Richmond, or you're a doctor at the hospital, or whatever, when you come to work with Cape Breton Realty, we will take you by the hand, find you the house, do all the things that we're supposed to do, but at the end of the day, we'll give you a cash back, which is similar to a referral, and it basically can help to pay for your move. It helps to make things a little bit easier, or maybe it's, it only comes after closing, but it could be new furniture in your living room, right? It makes a big difference, and we all need to work together in Cape Breton to bring medical professionals here and help to get our hospitals up and running and keep them staffed, and our seniors' homes and all of those things.
And find them good housing.
And find them good housing, and we want you to come, and we want you to stay here and put your roots here, send your kids to school here. This is what we need, and this is our way of trying to give back to the community. One of our many ways, but this is one way to help with the crisis that we're having in our health care.
Yeah.
Right?
Great. Oh, good stuff.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I kind of wanted to point that out.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess before we wrap it up, on another programming note, we have the Cape Breton Realty has sponsored the Christmas Carol sing-along this weekend at the Groundswell pub in Discus on Sunday afternoon from 4 to 6. So if you're in the area, we'd love to have you come by. This is the Cape Breton Beer Choir, and sort of an annual event that we do. And this year, Cape Breton Realty has agreed to sponsor, been very generous in terms of offering complimentary glassware, and we're going to have drawings for tickets to the Ashley McIsaac concert. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on Sunday afternoon from 4 to 6 at the Groundswell in Discus, if you care to join us for some Christmas Carol sing-along and some seasonal good cheer.
Yeah, I think that's great, actually. Yeah. I just, the name Beer Choir got me. Nothing wrong with that.
There's no auditions. You just have to show up. You don't even have to like beer, but it helps.
Show up and sing your heart out. Right?
That's right. Yeah,
that's great.
So next week is our last weekly update. I think we're going to do for 2024, because we're going to be off for the holidays after that. So we'll give them a preview of. I'll send out a message just in terms of what the subjects we're going to talk about next week.
Okay.
Or do you have any ideas at this point?
Well, hopefully somebody else will have some ideas and post it on our Facebook.
That would be great. Yeah, if there's any interest or questions that you might have that you'd like us to look into in farther detail.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to hear about the market and what the market is doing, great. But if somebody wants to know something about hiring a realtor as a buyer, or hiring a realtor as a seller, or
What's
you know,
involved,
that
right?
kind of
Yeah.
thing. Whatever people want to hear.
Yeah.
I think the idea of all of this is to educate people as to what's going on in the market, and get a little, you know, get a little publicity out of it at the same time,
It's
I
true.
suppose.
Well, there is
But-
a plethora of paperwork, of course, that you have to, you know, initially, you know, sign if you're, you know, getting into a relationship and buying a property. So that might be an idea for future, you know,
For
future
sure.
talk.
Even, you know, we could do
What are the
15
terms,
or 20 minutes on working with a realtor or working with the real estate industry.
concepts of agency and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay.
there's an endless number of things we can talk about, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Oh, we'd appreciate your input though, if you do have any ideas.
Yeah. I'd like to hear what people want to hear,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
not what we want to preach at them, what they
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
hear from us. So,
Sounds
okay.
good. Right.
All right.
And as is our custom, we'll toast the weekend and happy holidays
Oh,
to all.
yes.
Yes,
Oh, yes. Happy holidays.
happy holidays. And this, of course, is our Fiddler's Choice from Glenora Distilleries.
It makes great Christmas gifts.
Yeah, will. Yeah. Sanche,
Yes.
and have a nice weekend, all.
And it sounds like the postal strike is over for a while, so you might get those things
You might get your
shipped out if you want to send some fiddlers off to your friends or relatives away.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Sherry.
much.
Thank you. Take care.